Hey everyone, and welcome to Screams After Midnight TV edition. I am Peter, that is Tim. We talk about horror TV shows on this show. I never say that in the introduction, but for some reason I did this time. We are working our way through.
It fits, I'll allow it.
It does not fit. I can't deny it, but it did trip me up because I'm like, wait, I don't usually say that. Oh god, what do I do now? Introduction's falling apart. We are working our way through Tales from the Crypt. This is going to be Season 7, Episode 8. We're nearing the end game. This episode is called Report from the Grave. So, full spoilers for the episode as always. What is this one about? This one is about a scientist named Elliot who believes he's built a device that can extract the memories of dead people. So he goes into a crypt with his girlfriend, and then his girlfriend dies, and then he becomes obsessed with trying to contact her. That is the gist of the episode.
Yeah.
Tim,
Yeah.
did you enjoy Report from the Grave?
No, not at all. This was I watched this late last night, and I was already tired, and then it's such a slog to get through because I don't know. I could barely tell you what happened. Like, basically, the way you explain it is, all right, yeah. So there's this guy who's getting memories from the dead, and he steals a dead body, and then his girlfriend dies, and then he tries to get the memories from his girlfriend, and then, but as to kind of the finer points, it seemed like it was just a lot of okay, now there's this dead person with this thing on their head that's talking to him, and he's going crazy, and I don't understand what the point of this is. It just seemed I don't know, very non for such a premise heavy episode, it feels like nothing really happened. I don't know if that's just me, but
Well, Tim, let me tell you, I actually think this episode broke the streak. I think this is the best episode this show has had in seasons.
really.
No, of course not, you dumb
Oh,
fool.
okay.
This was a travesty. This was an nonsensical mess of a production. I didn't even understand what was happening in half the scenes in this episode. So much.
Yeah, it's not just me.
Yeah, so much of it is weird, delirious dream kind of he's having quick flashes of being in a straitjacket, and
Yeah, he's in a mental hospital at one point, and then he's not.
to the point where when he actually does kind of contact his girlfriend, and his girlfriend actually comes back in the flesh, and they have sex, and then she's like, "Oh, if you ever turn that machine off, I'll go away because the machine that you've designed is what's keeping me here." He's like, "Well, we'll just never turn it off then." But then, of course, the serial killer that they were trying to take out the crypt at the start, his spirit shows up. It's like, no, you have to turn off the machine because otherwise he'll start killing people again. So you have to sacrifice me. And then he goes mad and he kills himself in the bathtub, and that's the end of the episode. So much of that, which I'm pretty sure everything I just said did actually happen. Throughout the entire thing, as all of that was happening in the episode, I was never actually sure if any of it was happening or if it was all just some delirious thing in his head. And then the ending didn't really clear it up for me, but it doesn't feel intentional, it's ambiguous. Was this real? Was this in his head? It just felt like the episode wasn't sure itself, and because of that, I wasn't sure.
Yeah, no, it's just poorly made. I don't know, you could probably try to use some excuse in saying oh, they were going for this type of thing, and oh, they're trying to make it interesting by chopping it up and having these flashes here and there, whatever. But it's no, it's just a confusing mess. It's not a good one to watch late at night, daylight savings time, when you're already tired and having trouble focusing. But I don't know, and I don't know, the dead people didn't really look that great. I guess they looked okay.
No.
But it's not that interesting.
Yeah, because to bring his girlfriend back, he has to get 4 or 5 corpses, which we never see him take. We just cut to him having 4 or 5 corpses strapped up electric chairs, and I almost thought, okay, none of this really happened. It was all in his head when the cops come in at the end, and he's committed suicide. I thought, oh no, it's just all been in his head. But then they mentioned, no, he's actually been grave robbing, and I'm like, oh, so all that did happen.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it may not have actually worked. Maybe he just imagined that she came back, but. I don't know. The biggest problem is I don't really care because I don't care about the character.
Yeah.
I don't care about anything that's going on. The actor's an actor who I recognise though. He's popped up in a lot of stuff. He's actually Sarek on Star Trek Discovery right now.
Oh sure.
Sarek Spock's father, Tim.
Oh, cool.
you're not going to sit there and pretend that you're not a nerd, right? You may not be into Star Trek, but you're not going to sit there and
Yeah.
pretend that you're not a nerd.
Listen, I've tried Star Trek like multiple times throughout my life, and it's not for me. I just could not care less. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
that is fine. That's fine. But the tone there was that I'm a normal person who doesn't know these things, and you're a weird Trek nerd, right? When you, my friend, are a bigger nerd in many other avenues.
What?
Such
Yeah,
as
man.
such as the Star Warsies and the
Mm,
Hellboys and
very
uh,
good properties. Much.
oh yeah, because
Although,
Hellboy's about to have a third bad movie.
mm, I don't know. I don't know what you're trying to do. If you're trying to sign a death warrant, or I'll agree the new movie does look bad, but I mean, first two movies, come on. But that's it's funny you mentioned that though, because Doug Jones, who's on Star Trek right now, he was
Oh
offered a
yeah.
cameo role in the new Hellboy movie, and he had to turn it down because he was doing the Star Treks. So maybe that's why I have a beef against Star Trek.
He's actually really good in Star Trek. He's one of the main characters.
You know, I love Doug Jones, and it's cool that he, has like a prominent role. Is he an alien, or is he like a straight up human?
Oh, he's an alien. Yeah, he plays a
Okay.
Kelpian. He's got like hooves for feet, and he's quite tall and skinny. I mean, that's just him, I
Nice.
suppose. But like, yeah.
I saw him once at a convention out here, Monster Palooza, and he's just the nicest guy, and he loves like giving you hugs. And it's funny though because he's like so tall, so like he gave me this hug, but it's almost like he's like wrapped around me because he's like hugging me, but he's also like going like sideways over me. It's funny. He's like a Tetris block or something.
I wasn't
Uh,
expecting this story, but it's much more interesting in this
mm,
episode of Tales from the Crypt. I'll tell you that much.
yeah, sorry. Someday I'll show you my signed Abe Sapien figure. It says best fishes.
Because the episode opens with like we break out of this crypt, and
Hmm.
she's like,
It's a literal tale from the crypt.
yeah.
This episode.
But first of all, why does a serial killer have a crypt? Like, I don't.
That's true.
Most
That's a good
most
point.
people these days don't get crypts to their name
Mm,
unless you're rich or something like that, right?
mhm.
And
I put in my will to send my dead body to your house, so you can still do the podcast. I'll just be in the background.
weekend at Tim's.
Yeah.
No. You have to get buried, Tim. Because Tim. How am I going to piss in your grave if there's no grave to piss on? Look, come on, think this
Fair
through.
point.
Think this through.
It's true.
So the episode starts.
I'll only let you do that so my zombie hand can burst from the grave and rip your dick off.
Tim, my concern about that, what just happened there, what just transpired in the last 30 seconds, is that somewhere, some freak who says, "Oh, I'm into this."
Hey, send us your fan art. We'll gladly show it on the show.
No way, well, do not send me fan art of Tim's dead hand on my penis, please. I'd rather you did not do that. Anyway, so the episode starts, and they're already bickering, kind of, where she's like, "Oh, we have to go. We shouldn't do this," and she's trying to like, "Yeah, how I will always love you, sweetheart." And he's like, he's being kind of antsy. He's like, "Oh, I want this grant. I want this grant," and he's setting up his equipment and all that. And she's like, "No." She draws a heart on his hand, and he's like, "Oh, I'll always love you." And she goes to kiss him, and he kind of pulls away. He's like, "Oh, we've got things to do. Don't waste my time with love, you dumb broad." And then she wears the helmet that they're supposed to like sort of like communicate with the dead, and then. Basically, because she's like he finds like a letter because he thinks she's went behind his back to try and get the grant instead of him. We find out later what she actually did was just submit it in his name, so that she was trying to do a nice thing for him. But basically, he thinks she's went behind his back. So while she's wearing the helmet, he turns up the dial that's controlling it, and she starts screaming in pain. And then he goes, "Oh, that was a bad idea." So he tries to turn it down, but it doesn't work, and then she dies. He actually kills her. Like, I'm just going to put it out there. He actually kills her himself.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Science gone amok.
And then he's upset that he's got this grant that she got for him, and now she's dead. So he becomes obsessed.
Hmm.
You never get the religion. You never get why he cares. They never sell you on. I mean, obviously you get that he's guilty, but
Well, like, yeah, if he is enough of a douchebag to like not talk to her about his problems and instead kill her, even if it wasn't really intentional. He obviously meant to hurt her, but if he's that much of a douchebag, I don't really buy that he's like, that heartbroken over
Yeah.
it.
I just don't care. Like at the end of the episode, when the cops come in and he's like, and he's blood in the bathtub, I'm just like, I don't give
Hmm.
a shit. I don't care about this character. He's
Hmm.
barely a character because barely anything in this is a character or a scene. Like there's so many scenes in this episode that I would barely count as scenes of a TV show. Like there's a subplot where his friend keeps coming over and asking him if he's okay. This like
Oh, right.
all
I
the
forgot about that.
it's the guy who eventually steals his diary and then brings the police back to see him because he's worried at what he's done. Which, by the way, he picks up his diary when he's lying there on the bed, and he doesn't even hesitate to look at it. Like he doesn't even think, "Oh, this is an invasion of privacy" or whatever. He just does it
Yeah.
as if it's a normal thing to do, and then he brings the police, and he's already dead because he's killed himself. And I guess you need to feel guilty now, you piece of shit, because you could have, talked to him and
I feel like I just watched something else where like someone finds someone's diary or notebook or something in their room. Maybe it's Umbrella Academy, but I don't know. That's never happened to me. I've never been over someone's house and just have seen like something prominently displayed and just been like, oh, like, well, look at this. And
I,
and of course, like, they always flip to the exact page that's just
yeah,
like
it's
the
relevant.
damning evidence. Like, oh, like they never just flip to a page that it's like, oh, spilled pizza on me today. Like,
I
gonna
don't,
cry.
I don't think it was an Umbrella Academy because I watched that. I don't remember
I think
such a
there's a
scene.
scene where she Ellen Page's character is at that dude's house.
Oh,
Trying
that's
to
not a
find
diary. That's the
his like notebook or whatever.
yeah. That
Something.
I'll forgive that because that was more of a plot device that was set up earlier. Though that wasn't like a random
Hmm.
just diary. He's got a diary that he keeps. This was
Yeah.
yeah, and because she had more of a reason to look at that because she could tell it belonged to her father. Like there was like a reason to go. Wait a minute, he shouldn't have
Mhm.
this.
I feel like if you did that scene nowadays, it would just be someone like, their friends going to the bathroom and then they look at the computer and their Twitter page is up and they just see all their tweets like, "Oh, killed my girlfriend." Like, oh, because
Tweets are public, Tim. You can see anyone's tweets anyway.
I know, but that's like the closest thing that we have. I feel like
Private messages might be maybe the thing to look at for the private
maybe.
stuff. Yes. Tim's an old man who doesn't understand how computers work.
Not really. No, how am I talking to you? How do you fit inside this little box? Oh, 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 the little man in the box is coming back to me again. Sound like a crazy person.
Because you are a crazy person. This episode sucked. It was a goddamn
Yeah.
mess. It was a mess from start to finish. Everything felt like it was rushing. Because I don't even think the premise of this episode is bad. Like I think if you gave this like a full hour, maybe, or a full
Mhm.
movie even, like, sure, yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's like high concept here that you could flesh out that could probably be interesting, but yeah, trying to jam pack it into a really messy, 23-minute episode or whatever is, yeah, not good.
Yeah. So
And I will say, Report from the Grave, it sounds like after you die and you have to like still do homework, which that kind of sounds terrifying. I'd never want to do homework again.
I was expecting like a news reporter or something to be the main character.
That's what I thought. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
there's that whole episode about like the news reporter guy that finds those underground caverns where they're eating people.
yes.
That feels more like Report from a Grave.
Yeah, and as of course, as is par for the course these days, the Crypt Keeper segments had nothing to do with the
Mm.
episode. He was a farmer or something.
Yeah, I did. I actually thought like some of his jokes are really funny though. I like when he's talking about Artie chokes and then he just starts choking a guy named Artie. It's like such a stretch, but it's like so stupid that I love it.
That sums out your taste in a lot of things, Tim.
That's why I'm friends with you.
All right. Well, as has become common in these later season episodes, we've spent most of this talking about things that aren't the episode because the episode itself is mind-numbingly boring to talk about because it has very little value. So I mean, the acting's not good either, but I mean, I can't really even blame the actors for that. I feel like they're just shoved through,
Sure. Yeah.
a very
It's
bad script. So
Yeah, it's fine. They get the job done, but yeah, they ain't impressing me. I'm not about to give them a crypty for their performance or whatever.
oh dear. That's us, though. That has been episode 8 of season 7 of Tales from the Crypt. We have, I believe, 6 episodes left.
Ooh.
I know.
Okay.
We're almost there. We're almost there. So let us know what you thought of this one in the comments below. If you've seen it, like and subscribe, all that stuff. Give us on the Twitters at mailed_fuzz for channel updates. If you want to support the show and the channel, you can head over to patreon.com/mailfuzztv. Starting actually just recently, you get a bonus episode of Screams After Midnight, the main movie show, once a month on the $1 tier. So you get some bonus content if you go to Patreon. So, but that's us. So thank you once again for watching or listening. We always appreciate it. Keep watching Scary TV, and we will see you next time.